quick announcements. First of all, there will be a general student council meeting in room 4 today during lunch.
And also, don't forget to do your work jobs today. There's something going on, so I think.
Oh, yeah, over the weekend. So please do your work jobs tomorrow. Please be sure to do your work jobs. All right. Also, it has come to our attention that there seems to be a lot of chatter during the break. So Josh and I are implementing a new system.
Then you're a Latiner. Why don't you explain to everyone what decorum means? It's a Latin root, isn't it?
So decorum from Latin means right, fitting, and proper.
And so, in a break environment, what's the proper behavior? Perhaps putting away your cell phones, not texting, don't chatter. And
So we would ask that you act in a proper and fitting manner, that fitting or befitting a York student. It's act with responsibility, respect, and honesty.
And so,
My order was back.
if that's too sophisticated for you, I'll flip it around and remind you.
So please remain quiet during the breaks. Don't be on your phones. Don't be talking. Just respect the people that are up here.
So,
Thank you.
If we notice some, chatter from this corner, we'll raise it up, and that should remind you, if your friend is talking, nudge them and say, "Hey, decorum." All right, thank you.
I'm feeling very Californian, and I want to go back in the rain. So 8th graders, just a reminder, if you want to audition for the 8th grade recognition ceremony, just stay here afterwards so we don't have to go out in the wet stuff.
I know this stuff is good. If you're a senior who has not talked to me yet about the pronunciation of your name for commencement, please make sure to find me. I will. Wow, violence is unnecessary. When's the enforcer? When the enforcer? Who knew? But do make sure to find me so that I can check that over with you. Also, this is your nag about senior scripts. Also, get them in if you haven't already. And don't forget that the Wednesday after you've finished exams, the last day of exams, we have a commencement rehearsal that is absolutely essential for each of you. And then for the rest of the world, would you just take a moment and look to your left and look to your right and just say to each other, "It's raining in California in May, so everything will be just fine." I suspect and I am hearing that there's a little bit of stress around. So I'm just saying, you all know, you'll be fine. Really. Promise.
We've all heard, I'm sure, about how sports are metaphors for life and great teachers of life lessons. Yes, it's a cliche, but there are reasons things become cliches. A couple of years ago, I was on a travel softball team called the Salinas Storm, which competes on the national level in weekend tournaments that are often 60-hour marathons that can come down to a contest of sheer endurance, with players becoming physically ill from dehydration, passing out from exhaustion, or even being evacuated by helicopter to the nearest hospital. In one particularly grueling tournament, we had battled our way to the championship game, about to face the dreaded San Jose Taboo, a team known for having somewhat aggressive players, coaches, and, believe it or not, parents. Taboo is an acronym for Try and Beat Us, and they had an in-your-face kind of attitude to go with it. I was chosen as the starting pitcher, and at that time I was very slight. If you compared my physique then to that of my sister now, she would look like the Incredible Hulk. While many pitchers in my division were literally twice my weight, I was a strapping 82 pounds soaking wet. While they would rely on brute force and intimidation to terrify their opponents, it is fair to say that I have never been accused of that. Relying instead on location, movement, and off-speed pitches to frustrate batters. Unlike at the high school and collegiate levels of softball, most coaches at the 10 and under to 14 under divisions only see one thing when they look at a pitcher: speed. So, when opposing coaches first see me warm up, they can barely contain their excitement. But on this breezy summer afternoon, it was not to last. By the third inning, we were out in front by a score of 4-0, whereupon the other team's manager stormed into their dugout, screaming at his players and coaches about why they weren't hitting me. This tirade was going on about 10 yards from where I was standing. By the fourth inning, it was 6-0, and the taboo coach was on the verge of a meltdown. "Look at her," he screamed. "You can't hit her. She is nothing." I started to laugh, and our shortstop reiterated, "Well, his team can't hit nothing." I have to confess, not only have I become accustomed to being underestimated like that, but I've actually grown to enjoy it. We ended up winning the game 11-0, and I could see the veins in the other coach's forehead all the way from her dugout. I rediscovered an old cliche: happiness is the best revenge. Sometimes, holding your head up can be one of the hardest things to do when all eyes are on you and an entire crowd of strangers is cheering wildly for you to fail. But as it turns out, it does have its rewards. And the life lessons I've learned about myself from sports, here are a couple. Talk is cheap. Actions do speak louder than words. And I get to decide either to let someone bigger, older, and scarier intimidate me with a barrage of screaming insults, or instead use it as fuel for the fire, bulletin board material, which I prefer. If you believe in yourself, the forces against you can actually have an ironic way of helping you achieve success. Thank you.
Okay, so within the next few weeks, both bathrooms in the library are going to change, and they're going to become gender-neutral bathrooms.
So just keep your eye out for the signs on the doors to change.
So the MTAL Swimming Championships are this Saturday. As a reminder, swimmers, you have to be at Pacific Grove High School at 8 a.m. I know it's early. That means we get done faster. Also, this is the final meet for all the seniors, the three of us. And so if you have nothing better to do on Saturday and want to come watch some exciting races, we'd really love your support. Thank you.
Whoever left a bright red bag in the music room, please meet me at the flag for the laughter break.
America!
All right, guys, enjoy the beautiful weather.